Howdy, howdy ho. Yeah, I gotta work on those. They're already pretty cheeseball, but I am itching to make it so much worse. Okay, the video title is actually a little too shortened. We're talking about upgrading the docked output of your Switch. If you're looking at those next-gen consoles and trying to tell yourself that the graphics of the Switch are perfectly fine, you're pretty much just kidding yourself. Those of us with Xbox One X's and PS4 Pros already know what a resolution bump can do. In fact, some Xbox One X games had other graphical enhancements like better textures and better lighting and higher frame rates. No, seriously, gameplay is great, art style is great, but the Switch is woefully under-equipped to handle a large portion of third-party games. Games you tell yourself you don't need, but deep down, you know why they're skipping the Switch. And some of those are good games. Well, the good news is I have a halfway solution for you that tangibly and realistically upgrades the Switch's docked output. This is a mClassic. Now, I know it looks like a plastic-shaped bottle of snake oil, but I assure you it's not. In fact, I can prove it, and this is important too because all gameplay I record on the Switch moving forward will be enhanced by this device. Let's start with one of the best-looking games on the Switch, Luigi's Mansion 3. Now, something I noticed is that Luigi's Mansion 3 employs a very similar technique to Killzone Shadowfall, where there seems to be a partial or half-frame rendering of the next frame, which is combined with the current frame. At high resolutions, this would cause ghosting in motion, but at a lower resolution and frame rate, it seems to cause an odd pixelation effect in motion. But if you look at the right, you can clearly see that this effect is unintentionally corrected by the smoothing algorithms of the mClassic. Yes, we're zoomed in really far, but I can absolutely tell you that this enhancement gives Luigi's Mansion 3 a far more solid CG appearance than without. I mean, I'm proving it right here. It enhanced it and compensated for their rendering technique. But it really shines with gosh darned anything. Just for fun, let's look at Pokemon Shield, one of the worst looking games on the Switch. It really isn't hard for me to compare left and right images, and me zooming in is just to make sure it's easier to notice for mobile users. Anyone else on PC or something larger can easily see these differences, including the deepening of the colors. In fact, in a lot of ways, the lower the resolution of the image, the greater the effect. Just look at how it eliminates the pixelation here. Look up there at the brick wall's edge. This is a constant enhancement and it makes the Switch just that much more palatable on a large screen TV. The enhancement actually pervades even to the Switch's own UI and general text. You can see that game images and text are cleaned up, even noticeable on the Wi-Fi icon. Now you're probably thinking, is it really worth $99 though? Outside of catching it on sale, if you're an avid home console Switch user like me, the answer is absolutely. It has renewed my ability to tolerate the jar and visual difference when going between my Xbox One X and my Switch. If you only own a Switch, it might not seem like big of a deal, but when you go from 900p to 4K or 2160p, which is 5.76 times the resolution, it's kind of a shocker. Now some Nintendo fanboys will be all like, but Xbox One X doesn't run native 4K games. On the contrary, it actually does. Red Dead Redemption 2, Forza Motorsport 7, Gears 4, and there's many more than that. But even the ones that use dynamic resolution are still often running 4 to 5 times the resolution with better graphics. And when the Switch does run 1080p, it's often so simplistic looking you have to use art style to mask it, unless it's Pokemon Sword and Shield. I swear you Nintendo fans should be so offended by that one. What the mClassic does on a technical scale is give me a cleaner, closer to 1080p image with slightly deepened colors. What the mClassic does on the whole is keep the Switch's at-home docked graphics easier on the eye sockets. And in the long run, it just helps tide us over until Nintendo's next system, which will hopefully close the absolutely massive technological gap. And hopefully have party chat. No, I don't want to get started on the party chat fiasco. See you next time on the Gaming 5.